it's Reb Risty with Revolutionize Your Marketing, Your Business, Your Life. And we're here today with Jeff McKinney. I'm so excited to be talking with you because you are one of those people that makes me smile. And you're doing some amazing things for your community. And I'm really excited to dive into that and share with our audience what you're doing. But before we get all into our discussion, maybe tell my audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
That's a great question, and I always struggle with giving a very clear and concise version of that. I would say, so I do know my name. My name is Jeff McKinney. I am CEO and founder of Diverse Perspectives. Diverse Perspectives also delivers a community and a set of services through our online community, Ontegration. And so inside of that community, we also have a business community for our diverse perspectives and those humanitarians that would like to serve on behalf of humanity. And so who am I? I am a human that has decided that my purpose is to build technology to deliver a better world. I am Jeff McKinney.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, you got that down to a pretty concise one-liner. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. I just got to be able to do it the next time too.
Well, you got it recorded now, so.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, before we get into what you're doing today, maybe take my audience a little bit on your journey of how you got here, like where you started and what brought you to building the business that you have today.
Yeah, it's a very interesting question that I firmly believe will one day be used as use case for graduate programs to understand the value of treating people kindly. For me, I was born and raised in Oak Cliff, Texas. That's the southern inner city of Dallas. And in my community, I was surrounded by love. And I left there as a graduate of South Oak Cliff High School, went and attended Fisk University, spent 4 years there, majored in computer science and business. And from there, I went into technology sales. And so worked at some of the larger firms and manufacturers and suppliers over the years and had a set of experiences and saw things that were taking place that at the end of the day showed me an opportunity and what I felt was my purpose. And that is, I made some great relationships. However, I did see a good amount of what I would call darkness. And when I say darkness, I defined it as things that people wouldn't be proud to say in the light. And so I saw systems that failed despite the code of conduct and those types of things being in place to prevent these types of things. And, in partnership with my own mental health team, I was given some information about, some of the impacts that it had on me personally. And I arrived at a point to where I had to decide whether it was meant for me to lose or to use this discomfort to do something on behalf of others. And so with that being said, we launched our Diverse Perspectives back in 2018, and we envisioned it to be the place for business owners and entrepreneurs to come find the pieces to be able to build workplace that actually valued the people, had a team that supported from an operations standpoint, and had those various hats worn well enough to succeed and flourish. We saw that as an opportunity. And post 2018, it was very evident by just watching the type of technology and lack of integrity in what I would say social media, that we also had to build in a vision to deliver a more what we call responsible social offering, so that humanity or social media users or those of us that experience connecting or attempting to connect online have an option that actually gives us what we choose rather than playing a guessing game. And so that's how we arrived here. It's been a journey that I don't think is very clear yet. There's still work to do, but we also have the success of business partnerships through, for example, our virtual likeness services, where we partner with an entrepreneur like Mercury Hall to deliver a way to set entrepreneurs and business owners and business leaders for them to make their online presence step up and step out. And so that's one value of what we bring. But most of all, what we're here to do is empower people to stand in their purpose and support them to go and monetize that and serve others and just make the world a better place.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And I know you're being very kind in your words of some of your experiences. And I love that, the darkness, things that we wouldn't say in the light, because there's a lot in that space, right? With that said, with our diverse perspectives, I've had the opportunity to, look at it with you and get a better understanding. And it's not an easy thing what you're trying to do. Maybe you could break it down for the audience, just kind of nuts and bolts, like what is the platform? Like, how is the technology bringing people together? What's the value there?
The value is really the opportunity around the challenges that people are facing. Right now, I could simply ask two questions. Where do you go when you don't know where to go? Not really sure. The other question that I would ask is, how long would you stay in a relationship that lacks integrity? And so not very long is what most people would say, but then we also are looking at services that offer what we call free services to us in social media that tell us that they need us to pay a price of $14.99 or whatever the number is for us to prove and authenticate who we are. When we understand that Netflix at the same time is saying that we know that you've been sharing your password. And so when you say it like that, you're like, okay, so how can one in the light justify charging someone to prove who they are while the other one is saying we're going to charge you more because we know who you are?
Yeah.
And so we see an opportunity by just taking the first step with integrity and giving people an opportunity to get to a place where they can choose what they want, and then allowing partnership and collaboration, like with REBL marketing. I would say, you probably were not expecting this, but Reb, whatever you want, digital real estate wise, it's yours. You can join one integration and have your own channel. It's yours. It's what we're here to do. We're here to plug in and allow people to come serve their purpose ultimately. And so, that hopefully that makes it clear that my job and my vision is to go out and deliver my gifts and my talents, but also welcoming others in to do the same.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. And I'm excited to work with you on the platform. How do, maybe talk about that? Like, how would somebody like REBL Marketing or another service provider, how do they leverage your platform to connect and to provide, to help people?
Well, I would say right now, the byproduct of the world that we're experiencing makes us believe that there's something special we have to do to get someone else's attention. I believe that the algorithm is playing a role in how we perceive what it is that we're supposed to do to show who we are. And so I would say that my hypothesis is that you don't have to do anything but what you're doing, and then be able to show that in collaboration with a community of others that are doing as well. And so once we get into a place where, that I can believe in, for example, I've seen on multiple times, maybe you have through social media today, where a deceased relative will send me a request, a friend's request. I just had someone sent me a message that could be interpreted as a threat just within the last couple of days. And I don't know how to make that stop, and I don't know how to hold people accountable. And quite frankly, based off of the stance of me having to choose, or us having to choose whether we want to pay to authenticate to ourselves, then I would say that there's some level of value on fake profiles inside of these places. And so if we will now ask ourselves, how many times do we play a game, or will we participate in a game when we don't know the rules? It gives us a different lens to look at really what we've been participating in. And I understand there hasn't been an alternative, but now there is. And that's what the Once Integration community is. I've been told over the years about how big the vision is and how complicated it is to understand. And I think the best way to demonstrate it is by what we're doing now, and that's just being who we are and going out and being doers.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Tell me a little bit more about Resposal. Am I saying that right? Responsible.
Yes, you are.
I love that. What does that mean? And how are you building that?
So Resposal is something that came to me as I drove down the road one day. I actually have a notebook somewhere on my desk over here from 2009 where I was writing down kind of my goals. I was always searching for what it was, what my purpose was going to be, what was I going to do to leave my mark. And in that notebook, it says the not Facebook. And I didn't know what that was. It's just something I wrote around, I think, 2009. And so as I was riding down the road this day, I was thinking about responsible social and how do we start to provide these services in, let me make it clear, in a for-profit fashion that are truly envisioned for the people. And then I thought about, well, what companies are out there that I would believe are truly for the people? Well, I would tell you, based off of my experiences, there are not many that will stand next to a mistake in the light, which means that there has to be a lot that has been hidden over the years. And so by default, there are people out there that are suffering from trauma at the hands of these various systems. And these systems have to have services to improve. There's never been a level of accountability there that would initiate the need to improve, I would say. And certainly for the people, I think if I were to make a statement, or someone else were to make a statement that said that HR was broken, people would have to give that a little bit of thought. And so with that, we developed this set of Resposal tools, and I modeled it based off of the team that I had around me to support me in my most trying times. And so we focus on mental health and overall well-being. We focus on making sure you understand your rights, and we focus on making sure that organizations have the right consultation to be able to build world-class workplace culture. That's the goal. We want to see communities prosper. We want to see communities thrive. And we never want to point out a problem without a solution. And so what we're here to do with these Resposal services is make sure that we have a community and a set of resources that are at the ready to address whatever discomfort one is driven to reach out for. Because I know in my deepest, darkest times, I didn't know where to turn. And so going forward, humanity will have Resposal services. Business owners will have Resposal services. It's what I feel would be best served to be able to deliver a better world, I would say.
Yeah, that's great. And, and like I said earlier, I've been able to see, the platform and kind of, have a better understanding. And maybe because we live in this world, I feel like speaking of HR and companies, it does seem like there is a change. There's a wave of change coming. Could it be better? Of course, faster, of course. So I think your mission is so important because people really need to lean into this. We need to be talking about it more. We need to, on both sides of the table, right? The companies as well as employees and people, we need to be thinking, at a different level. It just seems slow at this point. I do feel things are changing.
The way that I am envisioning it, I think the change is a choice that each person has an opportunity to choose and accept, but it requires your participation. And so I think a lot of people have had to sit with not having an option, whether it was something they saw or something they experienced. And it's not their fault. I mean, if I had seen what I saw prevail time after time after time, I think I did sit quiet for like 18 years.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's going too far to say that some would perceive that I've taken some level of great risk by deciding to step up to this challenge and build a set of solutions. But what I will also end with is that we also have the W's to support the methodology and the outcomes that we're speaking of in a high probability type of way. And so, if we point to, again, Mercury Hall and the way that we've been able to now take his business and build it into a virtual likeness services, that's a reason why we can point to and say, this is why you partner with our diverse perspectives. If it is someone that has come to us and said, I don't feel like I've been treated fairly in the workplace, we've been able to deliver outcomes there to where they felt like they were a hero in that story. If it comes to an entrepreneur that said, hey, I think I can do better with delivering a better workplace. We have testimonials for entrepreneurs that said we had that conversation with our diverse perspectives and they brought us into the right relationships and the right conversations to be able to feel confident that we're heading in the right direction. And so it's just taken some time and me to get, kind of like what you said, hey, Jeff, you need to bring it down. You need to get a little narrow. So I got to surround myself, and I am having this team that is kind of taking shape to help us take the next stage and clearly articulating these victories.
No, that's great. I love it. And, I think that resonates with a lot of people when you say it was 18 years in the making, and we've all been there, right? Where we've been quiet, we've let it happen to us or others around us. And to stand up is really hard and it takes bravery, but you're doing it now, and that's what matters, and gives all of us a little bit of that nudge that we need to. Well, as we're wrapping it up, what could you leave my audience with? What would you say a small action that each of us could take today or this week going into the weekend? Like what's a little bit of inspiration you could leave our audience?
I think I would say the number one thing I could leave the audience with today would be to show yourself some grace, some love. And the reason why I say that is because we're so hard on ourselves. We were brought up at a very young age in a society that tells us that we're supposed to compete with one another and that we are all kind of on this one path and we got to go and, not really listen to ourselves, but let someone else tell us how to feel about ourselves and those kind of things. And I'm hearing more and more of people that are saying, no, I get to reclaim that now. And part of reclaiming that is to look at all of your failures and understand that they're just a part of the process to be able to shape who you are to become. And so we should celebrate those. The only way that we can celebrate those is by showing ourselves grace. By default, when that happens, we're able to show others more grace. We're only able to give as much grace as we're able to give ourselves. So that's what I would say.
Beautiful. Love that. Yeah, we all need to hear that, and I agree with you. Um, wow, I have nothing more to say. That was great. Thank you so much, Jeff, for your time and telling us a little bit about your story. If somebody would like to learn more about our diverse perspectives and Resocial, what's the best way for them to do that?
I'm around. Don't be alarmed by if you see me running with wings and fire on or something like that on different platforms. I'm also an artist. So, I just wanted to make sure I shared that. The best way to learn about our diverse perspectives is visiting www.ourdiverseperspectives.com. There you can schedule time to visit with our team and learn how we can partner together, whether it be you an entrepreneur, you are a business owner inside of a larger organization or a medium-sized organization, and you're looking to either improve workplace culture, you're looking for tools and technology to be able to do more with less, and also put a premium on security, because that's one of the things that we like to start with, is making sure that we move forward in environments that have very high fidelity and integrity. Or perhaps business development. There is a whole sea of us out here looking to figure out how we can take our business to the next level. And I got to tell you, I got a vision. I can see it. And in that vision, we are all winning. And so I want to leave it at that, and I want to welcome anyone to join Ontegration, and specifically our diverse perspectives, and come collaborate on behalf of humanity in your purpose.
Wrap. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Rebel. I would be welcome to come back anytime.
Awesome. Let's do it.